Welcome to a journey around Italy to experience 10 of its extraordinary festivals. From the Tuscan coast to the cave cities of the south, Italy celebrates life with festivals like no other country on earth. Some are world-famous spectacles, and others are local secrets. All are unforgettable. Let's get started. We'll begin in Viareggio, on the Ligurian Sea just north of Pisa. Here the carnival is supersized. Held every year in February and March, the celebration stretches across 4 weekends, filling the city with color, music, and spectacle. The tradition began in 1873, when local merchants paraded decorated carriages along the seafront. Locals soon joined in, mocking politicians and elites. Over time, the floats have grown taller and bolder, some as high as a 4-story building. All are crafted from papier-mâché and loaded with humor, imagination, and satire. The elegant Passeggiata Margherita promenade with its Art Nouveau buildings becomes the stage, with 500,000 spectators lining the route. You can visit the Cittadella del Carnevale, where artisans sculpt, paint, and dream up next year's creations. It also houses the Papier-Mâché Museum, where you can learn more about the carnival's tradition and artistry. Viareggio offers a lively mix of carnival tradition and seaside culture and is not to be missed. We go now to Ivrea, a UNESCO city in northern Italy, about an hour west of Milan. Here you'll witness one of the most unusual carnivals in the world, the Battle of the Oranges. It erupts every year during carnival season in February, lasting 3 days. The origins date back to a Middle Ages rebellion when townspeople rose up against a tyrant duke. The oranges symbolize the weapons of that uprising. 9 teams of costume throwers hurl thousands of oranges in the streets, recreating the battle with chaotic energy. The streets become covered in orange pulp, which is then collected and processed into compost. At the heart of the celebration is the Mugnaia, or Miller's Daughter, a symbol of liberty who rides through town in a white gown, showering the crowd with sweets and good fortune. This carnival is more than just the battle. Costumes, parades, music, and traditional food bring the community together, honoring a story that has endured for centuries. If you do attend the carnival, take some time to explore the city. Walk across the Ponte Vecchio, and then explore the 14th century Ivrea castle, with its 4 towers guarding the town. And don't miss the Ivrea Cathedral, notable for its impressive facade and beautiful interior. Ivrea is a city that's as attractive off-season as it is during its wildest festival. We head to Tuscany to a different type of event, the Palio di Siena. Siena's famous horse race event is held twice each summer, on July 2nd and August 16th, lasting only a few frantic minutes. It began in the 17th century, rooted in traditional contests between the city's districts. 10 jockeys, riding bareback, thunder around the piazza, cheered on by thousands packed into the square. Victory isn't just glory, it's neighborhood pride that lasts generations. Siena is one of Italy's most enchanting medieval cities, famous for its fan-shaped main square and Gothic architecture. Admire the striped marble of the Siena Cathedral, which houses treasures by Michelangelo and Donatello. Be sure to see the exquisite inlay floors inside. And climb the Torre del Mangia, a soaring 14th century bell tower in Piazza del Campo, one of Europe's most beautiful public spaces. Few events can match the intensity of Siena's Palio. This is a race you have to see to believe. Siena is a gem worth visiting. In Pisa, light transforms the city for the Festa della Luminara di San Ranieri, held each year on June 16th. On this night, approximately 100,000 candles are placed on white wooden frames, known as biancheria. The frames highlight the architectural details of the palaces and churches along the Arno. The river reflects the candlelight, doubling the magical effect and creating a breathtaking spectacle of light. The event concludes with a spectacular fireworks show over the Arno River. The tradition dates back to 1688, when the remains of Pisa's patron saint, San Ranieri, were moved, and a grand feast called the Illumination was held to mark the occasion. Of course, Pisa is world famous for the Leaning Tower, part of the glorious Piazza dei Miracoli. This UNESCO site also includes the cathedral, the baptistery, and the Camposanto Monumentale. Together, these masterpieces represent Pisa's golden age as a maritime republic. Stroll a little further to admire the elegant Palazzo Blu on the riverbank. Beyond the famous tower, Pisa is a university city with a youthful, lively vibe, excellent trattorias, and plenty of quiet piazzas to enjoy at a slower pace. Next, we travel back to the Middle Ages to see the Quintana Joust in Ascoli Piceno, a charming town in central Italy near the Adriatic Sea. The Quintana is a living reenactment of medieval and Renaissance life, complete with elaborate historical processions, music, and costumes. Held twice a year, it revives a nightly competition dating back to the 14th century. Knights on horseback charge with lances, aiming to strike a target representing an enemy warrior. The joust takes place on a unique figure-8 track. The contest is fierce, and victory brings honor to the city's neighborhoods. Ascoli Piceno is worth exploring. Its Piazza del Popolo is widely regarded as one of Italy's most marvelous squares. The majestic Ascoli Cathedral is the spiritual and artistic centerpiece of the city. Don't miss the 16th century Forte Malatesta. Once a military stronghold and a prison, it's now a museum. Ascoli is a hidden jewel and offers a picturesque and welcoming experience. We travel to Matera in southern Italy for the Festa della Madonna della Bruna. Every July 2nd, this one-day celebration honors the city's patron, a tradition dating back to 1389. The highlight is a grand papier-mâché float carrying the Madonna's statue, which is ultimately torn apart by the crowd, a dramatic symbol of renewal for the city. Matera is unforgettable. The Sassi di Matera, ancient cave dwellings carved into the cliffs, are a UNESCO treasure. These homes and churches, inhabited since prehistoric times, make Matera one of the world's oldest continuously inhabited cities. The Church of Santa Maria de Idris sits dramatically on a rocky spur, creating one of Matera's most photographed views. The Matera Cathedral, a striking 13th-century Romanesque cathedral perched at the city's highest point, offers panoramic views over the Sassi. Inside, admire dazzling frescoes, a beautifully restored interior, and religious artworks. Matera is a destination that blends history, spirituality, architecture, and breathtaking views. Don't miss it. In Venice, tradition floats on water at the Regata Storica, held on the first Sunday of September. The event traces its roots back to the 13th century, when regattas were both training and celebration for Venice's naval power. It begins with a magnificent parade. Boats decorated in Renaissance style glide down the Grand Canal, rowed by costumed Venetians. Then the races begin, sleek gondolas competing in a test of speed and endurance. It's a vibrant celebration of Venice's rich history and the remarkable rowing culture that's been practiced in the Venetian lagoon for centuries. Venice itself needs no introduction. The Piazza San Marco, with its basilica and campanile, is iconic. Don't miss the Byzantine domes, glittering mosaics, and the golden Pala d'Oro altarpiece. The Palazzo Ducale is a gorgeous Gothic palace that was once the residence of the Doge, Venice's ruler. Explore opulent halls, Renaissance paintings, and the Bridge of Sighs, which connects to the old prisons. Be sure to cross the 16th century Rialto Bridge to get the perfect view of the bustling Grand Canal. A trip to Venice is a step into a timeless world where history and beauty meet at every turn, making it one of Europe's most cherished destinations. In Satriano di Lucania, Carnival takes on a wild, mystical form. Every February, the Rumit, people cloaked in ivy and branches, roam the streets, tapping doors with a holly branch. This ancient ritual celebrates nature's rebirth and the bond between people and the forest. Alongside them appear other characters like the bear and the Quaresima, each carrying deep symbolism. Visitors can join the parade themselves, making this unique celebration both participatory and unforgettable. The town of Satriano is a delight, with its narrow alleys and the hundreds of houses covered in murals. Head for a hike in the nearby Appennino Lucano National Park. The park offers trails through forests, mountains, and valleys rich in biodiversity. Satriano provides an authentic, off-the-beaten-path experience and one of Italy's most fascinating carnivals. In Perugia, sweet tooths rejoice at Eurochocolate, held every October for about 10 days. Founded in 1994, it has grown into Europe's largest chocolate festival, attracting almost 1 million visitors from around the world. Piazzas and streets fill with chocolate sculptures and other artworks made from chocolate. There are tastings, workshops, and markets. Street performances and other free activities add to the festive atmosphere. The city of Perugia is a hilltop beauty. Explore the massive 16th century underground Rocca Paolina fortress. Walk through its atmospheric stone corridors and vaulted passages, essentially a hidden city beneath the city. Stroll along Corso Venucci, Perugia's lively main street. Admire the 13th century Fontana Maggiore, a beautiful medieval fountain. And don't miss a taste of Baci Perugina, the city's famous hazelnut chocolate kisses, wrapped with love notes inside. With its Etruscan walls, medieval streets, and Renaissance art, Perugia offers a layered journey through Italian history, as well as a modern-day sweet cultural experience. Wine lovers head to Verona each April for Vinitaly, a 4-day international exhibition of wine and spirits. It began in 1967 and has become the world's largest wine fair, with producers from across Italy and beyond pouring tastings of thousands of labels. Though the fair is primarily for wine professionals, there's a corresponding event called Vinitaly and the City, which is open to the public. Known as the City of Love thanks to Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, Verona is a UNESCO World Heritage City, with Roman roots and Renaissance charm. Stand before the Roman arena, still hosting concerts after 2,000 years, or visit Juliet's house, with its famous balcony. Enjoy a coffee at Piazza delle Erbe. Once the Roman Forum, today it's a bustling square ringed with frescoed palazzi, cafes, and a daily market. Verona is a stunning city and a wonderful inclusion on any Italian itinerary. From candlelit nights in Pisa to oranges flying through the streets of Ivrea, Italy's festivals are as diverse as its landscapes. They're not just events, but living traditions, where history, community, and joy meet in incomparable ways. Plan your trip to Italy to take in one or more of these events. Have an immersive experience and enjoy the country as the locals do. Maybe you'll discover a new passion. You might also want to consider the Venice Carnival in February, a mammoth celebration that adds yet another dimension to Italy's cultural calendar. Thanks for joining us on this journey through Italy's most unforgettable festivals. Be sure to share this video with fellow explorers who want more than just sightseeing. See you in the next Travel Top 10 video exploring key events in another European country.